Hey guys, CSGN here, Mike Chase, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do any sort of draft coverage because that's not usually what I do on this channel, but the pick last night got me really riled up from the Green Bay Packers. I don't know if you guys know this, I am a Packers fan, and the pick of Jordan Love at 26, the Packers were at 30, they traded, I believe, the 30th pick, and pick number 136. I could be wrong, but the Packers moved up in the draft to take a quarterback, Jordan Love, out of Utah. And my thoughts on that, terrible, honestly. I don't really know what else to say right now. They exchanged pick number 30 and 136 for 26 to take Jordan Love out of Utah State. I don't like this pick for the simple fact of what it says to your football team and what it says to the fan base. And what it says is this team isn't concerned with winning right now at all. This team is in a stealth rebuild, I think. This team is rebuilding right before our eyes. And I think last year's pick maybe should have been a warning sign. I think last year's draft should have been a warning sign. Where you took a bunch of project players. You took guys like Jay Sternberger, who's a project player. You took Rashawn Gary in the first round when there was receivers that could have helped you last season there for the taking, and you didn't. You took Rashawn Gary, a guy who played sparingly and going forward probably still isn't going to play a lot. I doubt you're going to see much Rashawn Gary this upcoming season. So I think just what this pick says to me is the Green Bay Packers are in rebuild mode. And it's one of those rebuilds where they're not even fully committed to rebuilding because they want to do it, sort of in the Green Bay Packers fashion. They want to, have their cake and eat it too. They want to rebuild, but at the same time, they want to make sure the team's good enough to keep filling up Lambeau Field. They want to, make sure people go to the pro shop. So they're not even fully committed to rebuilding. They're halfway rebuilding. And, if you were here for the end of Brett Favre's career, you know that this is sort of how they do it here in Green Bay. This is how Ted Thompson did it with Brett Favre. When Randy Moss was on the trade block, the one team that was really linked to Randy Moss was the Green Bay Packers because Brett Favre, he pushed so hard for the Packers to trade for Randy Moss. And they didn't. They just didn't. I forgot what New England traded for him. I think it was I could have swore it was like a late round pick. It wasn't even much to trade to get Randy Moss. The Packers definitely could have traded for him. They didn't. Can you say in the end that it worked? I mean, it's not like New England won a Super Bowl with Randy Moss, but you put Randy Moss in that 2007 Packers team. That team, the last year Brett Favre was a Green Bay Packer, where they lost to the Giants in the NFC Championship game. You put Randy Moss on that team, they win the Super Bowl. They just do. There is no 16-0 Patriots team. The Packers win the Super Bowl. And and that's the sort of move the Packers just don't make. They just don't make those go-for-it moves. This team was a game away from a Super Bowl appearance. I don't want to say win, because I don't know. Because Patrick Mahomes is amazing. But this team was a game away. A game away from going to the Super Bowl. Maybe even a decent linebacker away. A guy who can get sideline to sideline away. There's a guy there in the draft who could get sideline to sideline. Patrick Queen. Right there for the taking at 26. Decided not to do it. Queen actually ends up in Baltimore, which is just an amazing pick for them. There's a team that knows that, you have a window with your quarterback on a rookie contract. The Packers, my other issue with this move is the Packers likely won't be able to even take full advantage of that contract of Jordan Love, that rookie contract, that so important rookie contract. That so important rookie, that is so important. That is the lifeblood right now in the NFL of being able to win football, being able to win a Super Bowl, being able to add pieces to your team. Because you can't necessarily do it when a player's on that second, third contract, because it's so large and it takes up such a large percentage of the cap. That is, it's why you can't do that. But with a rookie contract, you can. But the Packers sat here, drafted a quarterback, and won't be able to take advantage of that contract. So it sort of just makes this move even more mind-numbingly stupid. There's a potential. Last year, Rodgers didn't look great, in my personal opinion. I thought he looked okay. I don't know how much of that's a new scheme or how much of that is the fact that you have a bunch of stiff receivers that can only run in a straight line. I don't know, but it just sort of doesn't make any sense. I'm losing my thoughts as I'm making this, because like my mind's like just racing. I go from one point to another in my own head before I even get it out of my mouth. But by the time Aaron Rodgers' contract is tradable or cuttable for the Packers, the Packers are going to basically be deciding if they want to exercise Jordan Love's fifth-year option. And why do I say that? Here is Aaron Rodgers' dead cap numbers. In 2020, it's $51 million. In 2021, it's $31 million. In 2022, it's $17.2 million. Which isn't the worst thing, because by 2022, I mean, who knows, maybe with the Rona, cap projections all get pushed back down. So who knows? Maybe in a normal world, cap in 2022 will have grown to such a point where $17 million in dead cap isn't the worst thing in the world. And by 2023, it's $2.85 million in dead cap. So by then you can trade him, cut him, and it's sort of fine, I guess. But at the same time, that's the next 3 years where Aaron Rodgers is your starter. Potentially now 4. And if he's still playing at a decently high level, then what do? You end up paying 2 quarterbacks a large percentage of your cap space. I'm failing to understand this. I really am. I don't get it. And for the people who are saying this is similar to when the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers when Brett Favre was still the quarterback, it's not. Aaron Rodgers was projected to go number 1 overall, and he fell on draft day in 2005. Brett Favre, annually, from around like 2000, 2001, every year was, I don't know if I'm going to retire, or I want to spend time with my family, I love football, gee whiz, I don't know what I'm going to do. It was like that every year with Brett Favre. So you had to look for the future. The Packers didn't just give Brett Favre a, massive extension on his contract. They just gave Aaron Rodgers one. I just, the Green Bay Packers haven't drafted a skilled player in the first round in 15 years. Not only is that all of Aaron Rodgers' career, that's part of Brett Favre's career. If I'm gonna give this pick a grade, it's a D+. Yeah, maybe Jordan Love is Patrick Mahomes 2.0. I'm already tired of that comparison. I just don't like. I don't like this idea of, well, one thing was like that, ended like this. That means this thing that's similar to that thing will end like that as well. That's not how things work. There's only one Patrick Mahomes. There's only one Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love is a guy who seems to have bad decision making. He's a guy who played in the Mountain West, throws a bunch of interceptions, makes a bunch of bad reads. Maybe sitting will do him some good. I personally don't know about that. I think playing time is the only thing that can help develop a quarterback. In my personal opinion, I think being in the fire is what helps. So if I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this pick. I think giving up a 4th round pick when there's still holes on this team that you need to fill is stupid. It's short-sighted. And I think it just says that the Green Bay Packers are not interested in winning championships. They're not interested in competing for Super Bowls. So that's my thoughts on the pick. What do you guys think on the pick? I'll probably do another one of these for tonight for second, third round, and then I think day 3. If the Packers trade into the 4th, I'll probably do that too. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So either way, well, thank you guys for watching this video. Thanks for the support you guys have been giving the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.